Okay, YouTube, it's time. It's time to talk about Marvel Tokon. Post-beta thoughts, how I'm feeling about this game now. I'm not even gonna take too much time to get this intro out the way. Let's cut to the chase. I know what you're here for. Before I do, a lot of you guys watching this stuff here on the channel ain't subscribed. I'm gonna go on ahead and encourage you guys to please support the channel, support your boy. I've been doing everything in my power here on YouTube to keep growing, and we have been growing steadily. Do your boy solid, hit the subscribe button. You know the YouTube jargon. So yeah, with that, let's just cut to the chase and let's talk about Tokon and the closed beta that just happened. All right, I did not want to make this video in particular after I played it at Evo. I felt like I was extremely excited. It was really cool to see this game in motion and be able to actually play it early. So I didn't want to let the inner hype beast just be like, "Rah, Marvel Tokon's the best game ever made." No. Even though that's what was going on in my head, I was like, let me be careful. I don't want people to be watching me, and I'm doing this on purpose to let you guys know. Because I know there's going to be those guys in the comments. You're just a shield because you like our shit and you like Marvel. Yeah, I feel you, right? That's why I decided to wait, take my time, learn more about the game, and play it as much as I could, because I had this video ready for you guys long ago. So essentially, this game is great. All right, let me open with that. This game is great. I think it definitely has things that a lot of people can enjoy about fighting games. Clearly, you got the Marvel IP. A lot of people know Arc System Works for their works on Dragon Ball FighterZ, the most recent Guilty Gear Strive, and even from the past when we got them here in the first place, Guilty Gear Xrd, and its beautiful visuals, right? While these games all play somewhat of a role into Tokon, let me speak on that a bit further. So I think this game pulls inspiration from roughly 3 to 4 games made by Arc Systems. Clearly, first and foremost, with the way it overall feels, it does not feel like, so many people look at the game like, oh, it's Strive. It's not Strive. It actually feels a lot more in terms of like when you're playing, it feels like Guilty Gear Xrd, because I've done some kind of back and forth testing with Tokon and Xrd, and I looked at the game speed and it looks very similar. So it feels like it's the exact same pace of Guilty Gear Xrd, which to me feels great. And if you guys know anything about me, I love Guilty Gear, especially Xrd. It feels just fine, right, in that regard. So the general movement feels that way, and it's pacing. Then it stems into Dragon Ball FighterZ with the way the stagger inputs work. In Guilty Gear, you didn't really have that. You can stagger your inputs, but not as late and as long as Dragon Ball FighterZ. So by that I mean you stagger your light, medium, heavy, whatever into your block strings, and that's kind of what you do. You call your assist, try to keep your pressure going, etc. So it definitely feels like Dragon Ball FighterZ there. Then you insert BB tag with the directional assist, because BB tag also featured that as well. So that's a really neat thing there to have between like those like 3 games. Then insert Blaze Blue with the ground tech roll system. The tech system in Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear are pretty similar. It's just Blaze Blue adds a tech roll on the ground for left and right. So that is there in play too. So you do have 2 types of mix-ups. You have air mix-ups on aerial recovery and grounded mix-ups when your character gets knocked down. So we haven't gotten to the stage of air Oki, which we can talk about at a later date, but just know that that will be a thing at some point in the game's lifespan. So these things are all in play, and I'm like, this is a good amalgamation. Now there is one more game that is involved here, and that is Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising, or Grand Blue in general, with the way the inputs work with the simple inputs and the command inputs. So you have both available right then and there, and it works, right? There is no selecting of modern controls or classic controls like Street Fighter. No knock to it. It is a great system between both games. It just Arc System Works gives it to you right there at your fingertips. If you want to graduate from doing motion inputs, if you want to graduate from, so basically if you wanted to use your classic inputs, you can. If you want to use easy inputs, you can. I won't lie to you, I go between both, because sometimes it just makes it easier for you to do things that you need to do while playing, so you don't have to think too hard while doing your strategies. So that's totally okay by me. So since it takes from those games and mixes into something great, I think it's cool. This aspect of the game, I think they got right. I don't think there's too much here that they need to like really go nuts on, because they also included their own systems with the counter systems, with their guard canceling, with their anti-projectile stuff. Now granted, some of these things are still pulled from Dragon Ball FighterZ, but how it works in this game is still very different. So it's okay to always pull inspiration from previous titles that were very successful. So, and I think that's what this is, right? They're pulling from things that were successful. From here, I think we're good, right? I don't have any issues here. I think this is phenomenal. This is a great foundation, and you'll hear me say this a lot in this video. I'll be yapping a lot about that, but the foundation of the game is great. Like, there's no issue, right? The game feels great on all fronts, right? I said all of this, so now let me talk about my gripes. My current gripes with this game. First and foremost, the assist system does need some work. So what I learned about the assist system is that, like, if you press a button, let's say you whiff like a light button or a medium button, you can't call an assist to back that up, right? That feels weird to me. Now that's been the case with the majority of tag fighters I've ever played, but even if you whiff a button, you can still call your assist. So I thought that's kind of weird. In general movement, just, for example, let's say like your opponent is, you think your opponent's gonna run at you, right? And you do air dash back, jump H with Star-Lord, right? If I couple that with an assist, it should just work. It doesn't. So that felt kind of weird. And I did see a lot of people say over the course of the weekend on socials that, like, yeah, you couldn't press a button and then call your assist unless it made contact or something like that. And I'm like, that's a little weird, right? Like, if I want to protect myself, I should be able to protect myself with my point character and my assist. That's part of team fighters. When you're grounded and you're calling your assist, you have two types of assists. So you have your directional assist, right? That's designated toward each character, towards the directions of your assist. But then each one of those characters also have the lariat, which is your dashing attack, right? I do think that is, I'm kind of torn on it. I'm okay with characters having lariat assists, but it's seen more as just like to me, it just feels like it's an extra button. Does that make sense? Like, obviously it's an extra button, right? But it feels like it's your button that you press to get plus frames, to try to continue your stagger pressure or try to, like, do more with your pressure. I think it's okay, but at the same time, it's like, in some ways it can be seen as, well, it sort of defeats the purpose of me fighting to get my extra teammates to be able to do their assists. So for example, let's say I wanted to use Kamala or Miss Marvel in the second slot, and I want her DP assist, her down assist, right? That's why she's there. But when I press down and assist, Kamala does a lariat. It's like, or she does a little stretchy punch or whatever, and I'm like, that's not what I asked for. I want to see Kamala spin, spin the win, right? I want that. And I think this part feels contained, right? It feels in this regard they don't want players to get crazy offense off of their assist, because in the history of tag fighters, people tend to pick the really strong assist to help them do what they gotta do. That can be seen as both a positive and a negative, barring on how you look at it. For example, everyone knows Dr. Doom in Marvel 3 hidden missiles is pretty crazy, right? And you can put Doom on any team with any tour. It's like my two favorite characters, Dr. Doom, right? And truth be told, there's nothing really wrong with that. That's just one way to play. That's gonna most likely happen in this game anyway. But the fact that we are locked out of using that assist type really feels weird. So that's something I think that they should look into. Additionally, the anti-air assists don't really feel useful. It feels like, well, a lot of the times in versus games, the anti-air assist tends to be the one with the most invincibility. It's also functions as it's a one button get off me. It's a one button BP essentially, right? This game, it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't help that the assists come out slow, as I mentioned earlier. But it's like, the iframes don't seem like they're there. It just has to come on the screen first and then do what they gotta do. And it feels like, this is kind of slow. So it feels like, from an anti-air perspective, once again, what's the purpose of me doing this when I can jump light to air you, I can air throw you, I can hit you with down H, I can dash underneath you and do all the above again. So it's like, what's the purpose? If anything, it felt to me like the anti-air assist felt more like a, I don't know, it just felt like another assist you would just use on their tech roll, right? You knock someone down from the combo, you backdash because they're gonna tech roll, call out the anti-air assist like Kamala, which is very active, by the way. And it's like, okay, this is like to stop you from preemptively jumping, whatever. So it felt, like I said, it just feels weird. Now, on top of this, I do want to point out some other players. I believe it was Ringe, so shout out to Ringe, him, and whoever else, but I believe it was Ringe, if I recall right. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I think it was him. Point of the matter is, you can actually call your Lariat assist and then active switch into that character, and then you can call your neutral assist again. Now, that costs you, I think that doesn't come at an additional cost, so I think players were finding ways like this to get around that system. I don't know if it was meant to not cost. I think in the Twitter clip it didn't show that it cost anything. I'll try to find that clip and put it here in the video for you guys here, but it just seems like it's just an extra step to get to that, which again, it just feels like, well, what was the point of me building the team? I want to get that assist. I'm building because Kamala has a badass anti-air assist, right? I want that. So it does feel a little weird. It does feel a little weird in that regard. Now, I'll be honest and tell you, at the moment, I felt like the strongest assists were assist type 1, which is the projectile, and assist type 3, which is the back assist. So the projectile and the unique. Doom had the tracking beam, Star-Lord had the gravity grenade, and Iron Man had the missiles. These all to me felt like the strongest of the unique assist, personally. Everyone else's beam, projectile type, they're just good. It just does what it does. But these three unique were just like top notch, in my opinion. With that, again, I want to use these assists, so let me use them. Now, this is the part I really wanted to get into. This part really got me, which is the aerial assist. The aerial assists are all projectile type. Not really a fan of this. This one didn't really make too much sense to me. And I guess maybe it's like that because they expected the game, or the way they have the game kind of set up, and maybe with future characters that are not playable, this would be more prominent as a strategy, because certain characters can already aim downwards, like Star-Lord. He has his guns that aim at a downward angle. Cap, Shield can aim at a downward angle. So having something to cover you in the air horizontally makes sense. To be honest, I think that's okay to have that as a blind spot. That should be a weakness. I don't think that that's necessarily bad. It does feel weird to call the aerial assists and they come out where you last were. So like you jump, you call your assist, and then it's like I'm descending and that assist is still above me. That's not really doing much of anything. So it doesn't feel useful. I would much rather just have the air assist just be the neutral ones, right? Like the directionals, the forward down back assists, like let us just have those, right? Because that also helps alleviate certain aspects of the game. Like, for example, a big thing I had about Captain America is that his shield toss has so much durability, and he can throw it in the direction of my assist. So if I don't want my assist to get hit by that, I understand that I can jump up and call my air assist, but I can also just deal with Cap myself, right? So if I deal with Cap myself with my point character, when the shield slash recovery happens, or when it's on its way to happen, I can then call my assist while I'm doing what I need to do, and my assist can help out at the same time, right? Or a little bit after me, right? It's, you know, it's obviously a timing thing, right? So this is neutral based strategy. So why does my assist come out up here? You know, on paper it sounds good because I can hit him with a beam that's going to hit him across the, while he's in the air, right? But the assist call is still slow. So these things just feel a little out of place. So that's probably my biggest constructive criticism, is that like they really need to adjust that, how assists work. Like, be just let us have fun, you know? I could see them trying to contain the game very much so that new people can understand. But what would really get me is like season 2 or season 3, they're like, oh, now you can just use neutral assist while in the air. It's like, they just did that from the start, you know? So that's huge to me, because when you're playing like the other versus games, I get it, Kensou, it's different. I know that, I'm a big proponent of this, but I feel like this is something where like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? The concept seems cool, but just let us call our assist normal, you know? It'll be okay. Like, that's okay. Using it as a means to avoid, because like I said, it doesn't seem necessarily bad because of how some of the projectiles work in terms of where they're going, right? Like if you're jumping and it aims at a downward angle, it's gonna hit at that angle where your assist could come out. So I could see, well, if we have it where you can call air assist, you can pop them for trying to hit you down there. But I think that's the job of the point character to do that. And not to mention they have I forget the name of it, but it's kind of like the super dash from TBFZ, but it works as an anti-projectile, which basically is a super dash, right? It's anti-key blast, right? So I like, that's fine too. So to me, it's like you already have enough ways to anti-air them for trying to zone you too hard. Just let me use my assist so I can fight. At the end of the day, like this is probably my biggest trepidation. Just open up the doors with the assist, because right now pressure feels very limiting unless you're using certain characters. So like Star-Lord has a command jump which can open up more doors. Storm clearly is amazing. You know, we just need a little bit more. Other gripes I had was flight mode. I'm not a big fan of when you hold up to fly. I think they should just let that be for the characters who have like flight mode. Let that be a command input with the skill button, right? Where it's like, yeah, if you want flight mode, you jump, forward circle back, skill, and flight mode. I think trying to use hold up feels kind of bad, because there's several instances where like when you want to hold up back and you're trying to up back and block and you get flight mode, it doesn't feel good to get punished for just trying to jump away from a situation and then you get punished. So you're telling me I need to tap up and then do this. It's one of those things where like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just put it a part of the character's unique traits and call it a day. Like, it's there already, but like, let it be attached to the unique button for the character. It's easy to just do forward circle back. It's super easy. Forward circle back skill for that character, done. Problem solved. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What other tidbits can I really discuss here? So we have flight mode, we have the assist. There were bugs with the assist where like stage transitions didn't give you, some of the stage transitions didn't give you your assist back. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I was going through it. Oh man, the assist after stage transition that didn't work, I was losing my marbles. I was like, dude, I know I'm pressing assist. And it turns out it was just a bug. So I'm sure they'll address that on launch or prior to launch. So I'm cool off that. It just, in the moment, I was so upset. Like, dude, these matches are so fun, but I can't. My opponent's doing what I want to do. I want to do that too. I want to assist. Come out. I need backup. You know, I need that. So they'll fix it, I'm sure. Off of that, because that is a part of the assist. I think this part is a little subjective, but the Oki of the game I think is cool, but it's a little concerning, because one of the few aspects of Guilty Gear Xrd that I did not enjoy was when your character was aerial recovering, right? Air Ukemi or air recovery. They have a lot of invincibility frames. So with that being said, forward had 17, neutral had 15, I believe. No, forward and neutral I think were both 17, and back was for sure 15. And you can act on frame 10, which means you have a 7-frame invincible normal. Not fun to deal with. Now you could air throw it in that game, so that's okay. But this game's air throw, while it's very strong, it doesn't really work in that situation. So it's a little concerning when you have, you know, what we would call it tech buttons. Tech buttons in this game feels like it can get very scrambly and it can get real bad. What that entails is tech buttons into a combo. Oh, I'm teching, I'm mashing light. Oh, you got hit. That's crazy. Auto combo, time to die. Not really a fun time there. So with that, there's no real hard knockdown in this game. They definitely made a game where they want players to interact at all times. I do think they might want to reconsider maybe a hard knockdown somewhere, whether it's from a super or not. I think maybe from the level 3 it makes sense. I think that's sort of okay, because it costs, you know, a high resource to gain an extra advantage. But I guess in their mind they have the wall, and there's also wall teching. Your character wall sticks and slides to the ground. You know, you could probably set up like a really dastardly and, you know, devious mix up from that. So I could see that being like, I think the corners where the hard knockdown actually is, but there's no hard knockdown in the mid screen. There's no hard knockdown from stage transitions like Strive. It's just, you just go. So it does beg a question like, well, where do the hard knockdowns come from? But if it's just the wall, then we're all going to be fighting for positional advantage once again. Like I said before, try to get to that stage, that side of the stage where there's a wall, and try to keep that wall advantage. So there is that. It's not too much of a cause for concern, but it's something that I'm curious about the characters that's going to come in later on in the game and how their mix-ups are going to work. Which leads me into this next part, which is the mix-ups. I think the mix-ups aren't necessarily bad in the game, but what's concerning is they don't want any kind of assist sandwich situation with the active switch, like BB Tag or any of the games with active switch, like Marvel Infinite, any game, the active switch, Battle for the Grid. Like, a lot of the moves don't seem to like cross up to get to the other side. So at the moment, most of the active switch mix-ups tend to be right in front of you, so you don't have to guess left or right. There are a few. Doom seems to be the one character that will allow for that type of stuff a bit more because his front dash crosses through people. So I'm very curious to see what comes about with that down the road. But so far, minus Dr. Doom, it feels like there's hardly any. There may or may not be a lot of sandwich type situations with assists, so we'll have to wait and see. It's not super cause for concern, but for those who are creative with mix-ups, you may want to look into that, right? So that's something to consider. With mix-ups also comes into combos, but specifically the medium attacks don't feel like they have a purpose outside of maybe mix-up potential. So for example, Star-Lord's 2 and 4 medium, which is the slide into his gunshot, right? That move on the medium version, I couldn't combo it outside of a tumble. So it felt to me like, well, you could do it if you do like the second hit. So if you did like medium, and Star-Lord would do his gunshot, then you can combo it that way. But at that point, you're lowering the combo gauge. So it's like, not sure what you want me to do here, right? Because the medium versions don't hit even from heavy attacks, right? So if, say you're in the air, you did your launch, medium heavy, you can't combo into the medium version of the acid rain or whatever, right? The raining guns, when you fall down, when you spiral down to the ground, you could only combo the light in the EX version. So all I could think of was like, well, maybe the medium versions are just meant for mix-ups because active switch is slow in this game. I think that's okay, by the way. Active switch being slow, it still opened up mix-up opportunities. There is a timer for it. That, yeah, something to look at. On top of the active switch, I do think they could. Tagging isn't difficult, but it does feel a little cumbersome. So that's something that they could look at moving forward. I don't mind that it's not like a traditional, the usual you would see in a tag game. Oh, let me tag my character, and my character jumps in. I'm here, now let's fight. I'm cool that it doesn't do that, but make it a bit easier to see. Because sometimes it felt like I had to press another button to do this. It wasn't just press tag and then now it's like, okay, to active switch now, go into this character. I know you can like, I think it was, you just hold the button at any time and it would just work, but I don't know, it felt a little cumbersome to me. I'm not saying it's horrible, but you know, it can use a slight tune-up, right? Combos, not really that much of an issue. I feel like they were a little too short though. Like, they kind of sort of feel like Strive combos, but with extra steps. Sort of. I will say one of the most fun parts of playing a Marvel game is stylish combos. Like, we all want to hit the sauce, you know? And It could be maybe the sauces and the mix-ups, and you just kind of go back into the, I guess you could say, generic combo. I definitely want to see more in the combo structure department. I think I kept kind of going for like the most default thing because it just worked and it was reliable. And we'll get to the point of sauce, but like I feel that the combos are kind of, at the moment, they feel kind of canned. They do feel a little contained. So I hope that they open up the combo system a little bit more, and they can open that up easily by letting us use the other assists other than the lariats, because again, not the biggest fan of the lariat assist only for offense. This right here, I think this part, this is also high on my priority on things I need to get fixed. I am not a fan of the light auto combo mash. I know why they put it in place. I get it. I see why that's there, because the light buttons are really strong. Let me tell you, the lights are really strong in this game. Which I have more to say about that in a second, but the light auto combo whiff, I think, either needs one of two things. It needs to go, which most likely will not happen. They're going to keep it in the game. Or they need to reduce how far it travels and reduce its tracking. It felt really bad to play Dr. Doom and try to use his dash to cross people up and watch them whiff their auto combo, like they're mashing lights, and one light goes this way and the other light catches Doom on the other side. That felt really bad, and that happened to me a lot. So it sort of defeats the purpose of Doom using his dash to mix people up on his own, right? If you're gonna tell me I need to layer it with my assists all the time, they're mostly lariats. And when those lariats are done and I try to dash and they're mashing their auto combo trying to hit Dr. Doom from where he's at, and they're like, oh, let me just automatically turn around and combo you anyway. That feels bad. At that point, let the auto combo always go that direction. If Doom crosses you up, the auto combo mash needs to go in the original direction. Like, it doesn't need to like be programmed to auto track the opponent, right? Because at the moment, a lot of the light auto combo whiffs, they travel pretty far. Like one of the weakest ones, I think the weakest auto combos were like Doom and Star-Lord, and those are the two that played the most, which it's rough. It's rough in that regard because they don't go anywhere. And those two feel a bit more fair in that regard. Just remove the tracking. Like universally across the board, remove the tracking. I don't think that's cool. Especially since I know more than likely they're not going to remove that part of the game. I would hope that they do, but it is what it is. And that leads me into the buttons. I do think that some of the buttons are a little too big. Like, I was getting anti-aired on an air dash from Storm's standing light. So I think they really need to adjust some of the hitboxes in the game to like be a bit more normalized. Because right now some of these hitboxes are like hit spheres, and it doesn't feel good to get hit by a lot of these moves. And it's a little weird in the combo structure as well. And speaking on buttons, that like some of the launchers just don't hit properly. It's almost like they always, it's like the combo structure is to use your assist, lariat assist, to extend, as opposed to going for a launcher and trying to extend. So it's like they want you to keep doing grounded combos but still having a launcher at the same time. Like, it's a little weird. It's a little weird in that regard too. Like, launchers are a big part of these types of games, and I'm cool with keeping it grounded. It just felt really bad playing Doom and being like, I got my confirm. Whiff. Full combo punish. Like, that's not cool. That's not fun either. So yeah, I think these things in particular are like pretty much like my gripes. I think these are all fixable, right? There's plenty of time before the game comes out to fix this. They don't have to keep it this way. Now, this is the last thing I'll talk about. Online was good. Obviously, you have people who have bad connections, and let's just be honest. I'm so glad there's a Wi-Fi indicator, because a lot of you Wi-Fi players, I might be turning y'all down, because I'm sorry. The lobbies were great. They literally pulled it from, it's like an advancement. It's like they keep pulling from Xrd and making it even better. So to me, it looks like Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, like, you know, World Hub or whatever, and it looks even greater. So to me, it's like, keep that up. You ain't gotta do nothing else. This is great. This is exactly what players wanted for Strive. Just this should have been in the Strive. just keep this up. Don't ever change this arc system. Never change it. This is the perfect lobby system. Don't change it. Again, don't change it. With that being said, I think that's pretty much it. I know I yapped for a hot minute here. There was a lot to say, but I wanted to make sure that I was in depth with you guys and I didn't just drop just some like, all right, you guys, this game was fantastic. These two things were, you know, terrible. Like, comment, subscribe. Now, I wanted to go in detail so you guys can understand. Because for me, this isn't just for you guys. This is also for the developers who potentially will watch this. I want what's best for the game. I want what's best for the player base. I love fighting games, and they're on the right track with this game. They just gotta consider these gripes, not just from me, but from other players, because I'm essentially being a voice for mad people, right? So hopefully they take a look at this and learn from it, because they have a banger on their hands, you guys. Trust me. Like, if you didn't get a chance to play it, I feel bad for you. But hopefully there's another beta for you guys to play down the future. It's gonna be so much fun, you guys. Trust me. This game is gonna be fire. If they open up the game a little bit more, this game is gonna be something else. So just talk to me in the comments below. Let me know how you guys feel about this. How you guys feel about Tokon? Were you able to play it? What were your concerns? What were your gripes? What were the things that you liked about it? Let me know in the comments below, and let's have a conversation. I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all know the vibes. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Take care. Peace.